All right, we got GMXOG in the building.
Yes, sir. I'm here. You guys hear me? I'm on speakerphone this time.
Yep, we got you. You hear him good, Beast?
Yes, sir. Hold up. We got GMXOG in the building.
What up? Glad to be back, guys.
GMX, man. We're glad to have you back, man. Hanging with GMX is the title of this one. And the people know you already. And if you want to go ahead and just start it over for the people that don't know you, let the people know who you are.
Of course. Name is GMX. You can find me on Instagram at GMXOG. Grower, breeder. Been growing for about 15, 16 years. Pretty much breeding the whole entire time as well. But over the last 5 years is when I really got into the craft cannabis breeding and specifically the selective breeding process.
Yeah, man. And now you have a new company. You broke apart from Ocean Grown, right?
Yes, sir. I did. I branched out to do my own thing. So I departed Ocean Grown. After 5 years, I was loyal. I was been there.
Hey, GMX. GMX.
What?
Can you take it off speakerphone? Because it's kind of.
Oh yeah.
It may come in clearer with it. Yeah.
You guys hear me better?
Yes. He's a little louder. It still seems a little muffled.
Seems muffled. I don't know why.
How about now?
I think it'll work. Okay, so you said you were with Ocean Grown Seeds, did a lot of work for them. And what
I've been with them since 2015, 2016. And then I just thought it was time for me to do my own thing. There's some philosophical differences and just different, ideas of how I wanted to go about presenting my own self and my own brand. So I just started, I'm old, I'm 42 years old, and
You're not old. You're not old.
Cut that out. Cut that out. We're gonna stop that right there.
You know what old is?
I feel young. That's for sure.
Old is when you're in a walker and you can't move no more.
Facts.
We ain't old, man. You up and breeding, bringing life to the community. You ain't old, man.
Yeah, you can't even be old and do this kind of work.
Yeah.
True indeed.
Yeah, but please.
I felt older in the sense of where I wanted to be in terms of my own product and my own brand. So it just was important for me to do my own thing.
Yeah, it is important, especially if you have people limiting your ability to do something. Was it anything like that? Like stopping you from going a certain direction with seeds or whatever?
It was just more about the industry in itself and just how I felt that certain people may have been interpreting it. I started off like this. I graduated school in 2005. I came out here, Silicon Valley and the whole Bay in general, to utilize my skill set. So I spent, the last 15 years, I've been in this field doing web coding, graphic design, and I just didn't think that I was being utilized, and I just thought it was more important for me to, go out there on my own and utilize my own skills to my full ability to benefit myself and my family. So it was just important for me to break away and work on things in a way that I would want to do it without any limitation. And I have nothing bad to say about Ocean Grown as a company. I just thought that there was just some philosophical differences, and it was important for me to set myself apart from their brand and to do my own brand.
Okay, clap that up, man.
Much respected.
Appreciate that, guys.
Did you create the Ocean Grown logo?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Shrimpy, and there's nothing against Shrimp. I have respect for him, but yeah, he was pretty much the archetype, architect, I should say, of all the branding. Like, he's very similar to me, and I was almost like another, because he was like a web developer and a graphic designer. So we actually bonded because we're very similar with our skill set. So yeah, he pretty much did all the graphics, and they had a very clear vision of what they wanted to do, and it was clear that I could utilize my skills by doing my own thing, and especially when it comes to the graphics.
Yeah,
So I get all the photos. For example, the Rosie Kush that I dropped first, that was Megro's one photo. Just because I just felt like it was better than the photos that I had of the product. But for example, like the Black Rosie, like the whole campaign was my own idea, so it was just important for me to continue on with that, look and feel of where I wanted to take this brand with the whole mythological, like astrology type of vibe, the whole idea of the sun and everything and the moon. So it was just important for me just to continue on with that aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're with a brand, that brand likes to stick to what it likes to stick to. So when you want to go the opposite direction, it almost looks like two different companies underneath the same company, because like he's veering off and he likes to do. So I think it was such a power move for you to be like, you know what? This is the direction that I want to go in. I'm going to set the tone for myself. I want to be able to drop what I want to, when I want to, have freedom of design. And I respect that so much that you went off and did that on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, equity and inclusion are like so vital to your integrity. And if you don't feel like you are getting that, whatever industry that you're in, it's very important for you to figure out how you can change that. I'll give you one anecdotal situation that I had in this industry. I've never been the one to like talk all this about race or talk this about racism, but with all these tours, I'm sure you guys both know, I mean, it's a very, very, I'm trying to say this as carefully as possible, but a very specific crowd of people who are a majority at these shows. And there's one dude in this industry, I'm not going to say his name, I never liked him, but like, so we were there, me and Doggo were unpacking for getting to get ready, and the dude's like, hey, Doggo, what's this? You guys hiring people off the street? And I get that. I get that bullshit. That's like that bullshit racism, that soft racism where you think it's like a joke. But if I was a white dude, there's no way that you would talk disrespectful to me like that or to him. And of course, Doggo was cool and he's like clarified, like, no, dude, GMX, he's official team member. He's been with us for years and blah, 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 blah. Reader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that bullshit. And I just can't sit idly by while people may or may not say anything or let the things continue or to be a victim of that. And I just think that with all that said, it was just so important for me after these years. And I bit my tongue over the years. I haven't said much just because I valued the brand and I appreciated Vader and what he's done for our industry when it comes to seed making and seed selling. So there's no disrespect. It's more about if I'm in the situation like that ever again, it's not going to be, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able just to like joke around like that. You know what I mean? Like we would have to talk, like back in the day, you talk shit, you throw hands. I just think it's very interesting how quiet I have been over these last couple of years with a lot of the bullshit that I know you guys see constantly. We're just walking in our shoes. So.
Yeah.
We dealt with it on, I believe it was the last show.
Last two shows, man.
Yeah, last two shows. Yeah.
But at this point, I'm kind of like flattered,
Yeah.
In person, I never dealt with it in this industry in person because I'm kind of a big dude and I get busy. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. But,
I ain't talking to nobody 6'5" like that.
When the country is a majority of something and they're going to look down on everything else, that's kind of the norm. But the thing I don't like about it is in this industry, this is peace and love industry. It shouldn't be anywhere in here. You know what I'm saying? This is a different industry.
It's no room for it.
It's not like corporate fucking tech or something like that. This is cannabis, like free shit. Like this is
what was originally bringing everybody together. Like hippies didn't exactly have a color. Like the hippie culture didn't exactly have a color, and if it did, it actually started with the Rastas and then evolved afterwards as people began to copy what the Rastas were doing. That later on became our hippies of America. Was originally what they learned from the Rastas, from the vegetarian lifestyle to the living on your own, to the sovereignty, to everything about it. That originally came from the One Love. Even the song, even the terms that they use comes from the Rastas, and it evolved later on. So in America, we'll know the hippies for that. but that they learned that culture from going to reggae concerts. They learned that culture from going and spending time around those reggae band members after the show and smoking a joint. But look how it just brought everybody together. No one was thinking about it. It was just like, hey, he loves this music the same way I do. He loves the herb as much as I do. Here, smoke this. That's how seeds got passed around. That's how everything happened. Like, it's such an integral role in what we play. And we do get a lot, because I always say Pluto would be a much bigger strain had Gas House not created it. Pluto would be massive. Pluto would be all over the place. It would be spoken about a lot more because it is pressure. It is that long-lasting high. It is fire. But I know the reason that it's not getting the push that it was supposed to get. You're not going to tell me it's not better than Wedding Cake. But Wedding Cake got that push because Jungle Boys were the ones that introduced us into Wedding Cake. Had Gas House created Wedding Cake, it would be almost as silent as Pluto is. There's still people right now that if you posted a strain and said Pluto, they'd be like, what strain is that? And in my mind, that should be foreign. What do you mean, what strain is that? How don't you know what strain this is? Because it doesn't get the publicity that it's supposed to because of who made it. In my opinion. Yep, but I think we definitely need to network more. We got to work together. So what else has been going on, and what do you look forward to doing now that you're on your own with this breeding?
Well, there's definitely a couple of projects that I've been working on over the last couple of years. I'm hoping, I'm not going to say that. I am going to bring them to the market, just a matter of time. For example, I'm about to drop, I was actually working on the website all this weekend, so it'll be done this evening. I'm going to be dropping the Black Rosie again, which is that dark plasma cross to the Rosie Kush, which is that first strain that I created. So yeah, I'm excited, and I've been working on some new things. And one of the things too I wanted to do, which is a fem line, something that not something that we really ever talked about doing with Ocean Grown. I did mention that I was going to do some work with something just to do it, but I think it would be important to bring that emerging market, the new growers who want to just grab something good.
I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree about that. I'm actually going to try my hand at that the next time also, because that's what people are asking for, and sometimes you got to give people what they're asking for.
Yeah, because there's people who, again, go ahead, GMX.
No, I was just going to say, people like Copy and, Loki, they definitely have brought more awareness to the reversal and everything else. So there's so many other companies now doing it too. And like Frosty was saying, like, it's what people want.
Mm-hmm. It is. And again, for the home grower, now that countrywide, they're at least pushing medical in most states. So they're pushing towards being able to give people the right to cultivate at least a little bit of their own medicine. And those situations, femmes are going to come in handy because they don't exactly have the space to be loading tents for pheno hunts, and 5 out of the 6 strains turned out to be males. They can't afford to run into those kind of situations. The people with plant count limits, they can't afford to run into those kind of situations. So having femmes would come in handy like crazy. And for you guys that are breeders, it'll work out great for you guys, because you could create a strain, have the regular seeds of that strain, find a pheno that you love out of that strain, reverse it to make the fem line out of that strain. Now both people have access to the same strain. And for those people who want to hunt to find the things that they really want, or maybe they're looking for a male out of it, you guys got that option for them. Now, for the guys that have the 4x4 tent and don't exactly have the space to go through those kind of pheno hunts, they can still have access to that strain and have the feminized version of it. And those people might be even luckier because you guys chose the best of the best out of your pheno hunt to reverse with. So now they have femmes of the best that came out of that cross that other people have access to. So make the F1s for some people, and then make the femmes of the exact same strain for some people. I think people would love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially we live in that microwave generation where everything is fast, and people just want to blow some fire. They don't want to weed out males. They don't want to do anything that takes time like that, because people's time are limited. Nobody's getting into it immediately and quitting their job, quitting their day job, stopping all hustles just to start growing and fully just invest themselves in that. They just want to grow something to hit, grow something to smoke. They don't have time for males or even focusing on it. Just let the plant get big enough. Okay, about to flip the switch and get all female.
And then you got the people like me that are dying for the F1s because I want to find the best variety out of it that I can find out of it. So I need the variety. So I would prefer the F1s over the S1s. But then I got some friends that they don't have the space that I have. So they would love if you feminize that same cross and they had access to it in feminized form. And I think for breeders, it'll be even greater because the outdoor and greenhouse is getting bigger. So imagine the people who want your strain and they pop a bunch of fems. I've seen people do whole runs outdoor of feminized seeds because they're so similar. It's almost like clones, and they say that seedlings grow better outdoor than they do. And so imagine the people that are racking up on seeds to run them outdoor of just one strain. That was how I seen a lot of strains ran for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of breeders also do the S1s to have some kind of like intellectual property. So instead of having people worrying about people breeding with their stock, I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but just in terms of like why people do breed, because so for example, you have this dope ass F1 that you created, but you don't want people to like say you want to be the one who makes the F2s and makes these other shots. You don't want to have any males released. So that's a quick way. It's like almost like releasing like a clone only strain, So
yeah,
there's definitely different ways of why people do the breeding for them. Personally, I like to do it not just for money, but just for what people want. Like you guys are talking about, the new growers, the small growers, people who don't have the option to pheno hunt. So
yeah,
I think that's just good for the market as of right now. It's just good to have like a healthy competition.
Because people that know me personally, and they be like, "Yeah, man, I see what you're doing. You got some is they all females?" And they always just ask that question first, like, "They all females?" And I'm like, "Nah." And they're like, "Man." And then they don't want them. You know what I mean? But if I had all females, it'd just be real simple because they don't want to think about it. That's just, you find a problem in the market and you just try to solve that problem or try to do something to help both of you guys.
And the difference is for the people who are like real new to this with all of these terms and everything, F1 is when you take a male, female, cross them together. That seed stock is the F1s. S1 will be if you hunt through that seed stock, find the seedling that you love in it, and you reverse it back to itself. That will be the S1. So S1, just think feminized version of a strain. F1, think original generation of those parents coming together.
But don't confuse anybody. The S1 does not need to be hunted. It could be an S1.
No. It could be an S1 of a clone only. So if I got, let's say, SFVOG, I can reverse it back to itself. That will be an S1. So it's any female reverse back to itself.
Yep. I got a question for you, GMX. What are you breeding for? Rico says, are you breeding for terps and look, or are you breeding more for strength in your strains?
It really depends on the project. It's for both, to be honest. Because I'm an OG, I love OGs, and that they hit, right? So you're hunting for that. And then if you like the cookies and all these different runs and gelatos and everything else, Skittles, you're obviously hunting more for the terpene profile. So it really all depends. In the perfect world, you would want both. You want something that tastes good and that hits you,
Yep. Do you agree with me when I say gelato runs the world?
Yeah, we already talked about this. Yeah.
yeah. Gelato runs the world.
Especially that 33.
Bro, every day I see a new post with some foreign gelato. It's like, man, this shit is crazy.
And you see all of these weird numbers with the gelato, but when they interviewed Terpenes, he said the gelatos that he kept. He said the ones that he still used. So a lot of these other ones, I'm not even sure how people got access to them because I don't think he released any of that seed stock, probably to go back and look through it later on, because if you already found this out of it, there still might be some hidden gems left in there. That, just imagine finding gelato out of that original seed run, being Mr. Terpenes, going in your grow room and seeing that, which is completely different than what was wanted at that time. People were still kind of, I want the gas. They weren't really on the fruity wave when he decided to come out with that. You got to think they came out with Girl Scout cookies.
No. I can't let you do that, Beastcoast. You always say that, but that's always your personal geographical opinion.
Well, Girl Scout cookie was the hottest thing out prior to that, right?
Always been flavor. Bay Area has always been flavor, and Bay Area has sister cities all across America. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in Texas, they want the flavor too.
Okay.
A lot of different states they fuck with whatever the Bay got because people that run shit down there usually come to the Bay to grab it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You either go to LA or you go to the Bay. Or you got some Seattle connection way back in the day. See, LA was always king of the OG. You know what I mean? So they would get that from there. They would get all the flavor from the Bay Area.
So
you know about Girl Scout? You agree with that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you talk about. Yeah, I got married in Oakland back in 2005, and back then I just from going to the shop. So it was always about the cookies up there and the flavors, and then down here in LA, it was all about the OGs and the cushions, all that.
I was saying gas because prior to gelato, the hottest thing out at that time that I remember was Girl Scout cookie.
Yeah, but Girl Scout cookies had that flavor. If you remember Girl Scout cookies, if you had the real Girl Scout cookies on the exhale of your breath after you smoked it, all you did was smell Girl Scout cookies. Like you smelled chocolate chip cookie. Like it was
definitely chocolate.
Crazy. Chocolate, like chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
So that's a flavor. It didn't really have that gas. It was flavor more induced. You know what I'm saying?
I think the OG Indians came in with the stacking of the buds. You know how the OGs are like lengthy. That's like the big part of what I remember what cookies got from the OG part.
Yep, lanky little buds, man. Little plant give you about a half ounce, man. You gotta grow 1 million of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, you gotta, but it is so worth it for smoke purposes to this day. If I'm not smoking OG, I'm smoking farm cut or thin mint, some kind of Girl Scout cookie. I want
that real Girl Scout cookies cut back in the day was like 10 G's, man.
Pressure that in Candyland, and I'm mad that Candyland just came and went the way it did. It almost kind of got brushed over. But
that's what I wanted to say to you. The last time we was talking about is outdoor over.
Yeah,
my first grow was outdoor Candyland. Nobody asked me was it outdoor, indoor, greenhouse, and nothing. They seen it, they bought it. So it doesn't matter where it's grown, bro. If you got that right strain, you can get that off any day of the year.
It's all about the genetics.
All about the genetics.
Yeah,
you got it right there, huh? That's some seeds.
Yeah, this is still the original. This is still the originals.
What are you doing with yourself? You plan on auctioning them or something? Or
hell no, I'm popping these. Yeah, I'm popping these. I didn't want to do it in the summertime because the summer runs usually suck. The veg room usually suffers. But this year, I could have did it and gotten away with it, and I'd have been just fine because I got a whole half a room of seedlings right now that look beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah,
so GMX.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. You said some stuff about stars, astrology, things like that included in your packaging, or is that the vibe you're going to be going for, like more of a universal vibe?
Well, just like the packaging, yeah, and just like the philosophies behind some of it. You know, I mean, like I'm vegan, and I definitely believe in health, and my wife is super into some of this astrology and mythological and old stuff.
Damn, we right on the same track.
So I just wanted to kind of just like branch out to something a little bit more universal, something more about appreciating life as it is, and taking its blessings and paying it forward. You know what I mean? Just kind of just having like a chill vibe, but also being aware of your surroundings. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah,
meditate and do like yoga. You know what I mean? Just that whole vibe of just.
I can see your marketing campaign already. I can see where it's going.
Just trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, he got me hooked already.
But I mean, all those things are important. You know what I mean?
Have you ever grown with crystals in your garden?
Say again?
Have you ever grown with crystals in your garden?
Not in the flower room or anything, no. But in the house, yeah, my wife's all in crystals, so house plants and whatnot. But yeah, you guys put crystals in your garden?
I'm thinking about trying it pretty soon.
Yeah,
that's one thing. And another thing I haven't done with the garden is play music. Like people have like built speakers into their shop or whatever. They put like a speaker in there. There's certain things that you hear about over years.
I heard a trick to get more trichromes out of your plants is to play the sounds of the bugs that normally would eat them.
Wow.
And the stress response of hearing so many of those bugs around them will force them to kick more frost, which is their defense mechanism, which will give you frostier plants in the long run. It's by
that's the dopest shit I've heard all day, man.
Yeah, play the sound of their enemy around them.
That is crazy.
Because when you think about it, like, yeah, that every enemy of the plant has a sound, whether it's a grasshopper, whether it's a caterpillar, what they have sounds, whether we hear it or not to our naked ear, it still has a sound that has a vibration. So if you can find those sounds and play it to your plants, their natural response is going to be to kick up their defense. So when these bugs come around, they got something for them. That's why sometimes outdoor you'll see dead flies underneath the leaves of your plant. Because they went under there, stepped on one of those trichomes, that amount of THC in such a small body, automatic heart attack. So they'll kick more frost naturally as a defense for what's coming because they hear it coming.
Wow.
Now, am I sure that this works or not? I don't know, but I heard that was the theory behind what you should be playing. Like some people will just play waterfalls or whatever. I don't think plants really exactly listen to that. I think they're more listening for the enemies approaching. Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense. That makes sense, man.
Yeah. So if anything, I think that'd be worth giving it a try.
Yeah, it's probably similar to, like, I don't know if you guys do that, where thing before when you harvest, you just let it sit in darkness for a few days as it supposedly, you know, makes the blood swell and form more crystals. Have you guys ever saw a difference?
I never saw a difference.
I used to do that, but then I didn't do it, and nothing changed.
Yeah, and when you
do it constantly, and just more out of, not because I think something's gonna change, just because I know the plants aren't gonna like die. You know, it's just an easy way to cut down on heat.
Exactly.
Just turn off the light. Yeah. No problem. But it's more of a necessity just to do other things and just, you know, not even worry about the heat and just have, you know, whatever it is, you know.
But, I'm in 1 gallon pots.
I don't really know some major swole, but it is something that I do practice, but I don't do it for the reasons that you would think, you know.
Yeah.
I grow in 1 gallon pots, so it's really not efficient for me to do it, especially in nets, because in that 3 days, those plants are dead by the time I go back in there. And it's so much harder to harvest when the plants are dead already.
Oh, when you, like, if you turn them off the water?
Yeah. We were talking about this. I dry on the vine constantly, you know, dying on the vine and whatever. I just did. I'm actually going to go hard. I have to cut these down right now and just do this website too. Yeah, I grow in 1 gallon pots, and after 2 or 3 days of in the darkness and no water, yeah, they're done. And it is harder to harvest, but in my experience, I think that it brings the flavor. I like it. I mean, I feel like it helps just the overall, like it just tastes better and smells better. I know it's like just anecdotal, like evidence. It's nothing. I never did a trial or really side by side, but I know
somebody did this. Somebody did this.
The whole taste, well, any of that issues with chlorophyll, like it all goes away in my opinion.
No, somebody actually did this test and sent it in for testing. The plant that was left in darkness for 3 days, and the plant that was left in darkness for 2 days, and the plant that was harvested the exact same day. And there was a boost of THC and a few cannabinoids that showed up, and the 3-day one didn't show up in the first day one, and there was a boost in another one of the cannabinoids after leaving it in darkness for 3 days. I gotta find that. I got it on a computer. Somebody actually did that study. They sent it in for testing after they harvested, and there was a slight difference. I forgot who it was, but there was a slight difference.
Gonna like make, yeah.
Actually, you guys might be able to YouTube it and find the guy who did the test, because it was on YouTube, and he gives you the results right there on YouTube, shows them to you, sent the paperwork and got it all back. I don't think it makes big enough of it depends on what scale you're growing on.
That's a cool story, man.
Huh?
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
That's a cool story, man. Here's
what it is.
Fuck with that. I'm just kind of keep it real with myself. Like, I'm not trying none of that.
No, the boost wasn't enough.
I don't think none of that
it was worth doing
anything. Yeah, I don't think it's going to do anything to your final product. It's not going to be so dramatic to where you notice it.
It was an extra 1 or 2% of THC. It wasn't like it was anything major. Yeah, and who's to say that the strain that just went longer didn't wind up with more trichomes on it because it stayed alive a little bit longer.
Exactly.
Who know? Maybe it was stressed out from being in the dark for 3 days. Who knows? But the change wasn't so different that it made me want to do that. No, what I do is
would be nice.
Yeah, it didn't move the needle at all, and that's why people don't talk about it.
It would be great though to get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to sit in the place and just try shit like that. Like that would be amazing.
That's a great R&D job.
That's a great R&D job just to have. Like I think it was that one guy. What's his? Do you remember that guy that the Apogee Instruments guy? Yeah, and he's at Ohio University, I think, or one of these universities, and they got all these kind of containers, and they just trying different R&D things, different spectrums of light, different times.
I love those guys.
Like that's dope. That's a great job, man.
What makes me so mad is those are the guys that they never want to interview because it's too sciencey or it's too technical. Like, no, I wish you guys would stop thinking that we're stupid. I wish you guys would stop thinking that.
Yeah, if you watch his videos, you'll understand it. You just gotta watch it a couple times. But
like, it's nice to hear from the growers and everything, but sometimes it's good to hear from the guys that's in the laboratories too, that's really putting in the work.
Yeah, Bruce Bugby.
Yeah, and no, Trey Cheese, it wasn't enough of a difference that it's worth me doing it. Stalk splitting, I've never done either because I don't think any of that makes a difference because in nature, the stalk would never split. I like to just keep a plant the way that it would do in nature to the best of my ability. It would never go through 3 days of darkness naturally unless it was in like Alaska or some shit. It just would never have these kind of problems.
Your boy, Roy Boy.
It's not as pretty either if you want to like show it off on the gram.
Oh, yeah.
Cut that down.
Definitely not as pretty. Go ahead, Frosty.
Oh, I was just showing someone's Canna Genetics some love. What's up, Canna? Your boy.
What's up, Canna?
You sold my first solid gear back in 2015, straight fire. Thanks, Gromy. Your Gorilla Smash was lovely, and your Strawberry Power was a head center.
You know we about to have that Gorilla Smash, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Frosty, we need that.
Yeah, we actually did an interview with Canna Genetics too. Y'all stay on the lookout for that. It's be coming out.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler. But, GMX. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of good questions to ask you on your new company. So you're not going through seed banks. You're going to do everything yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm doing everything myself. I'm actually, like I mentioned, I've been doing websites for almost 20 years, so I'm just going to do it myself. And I'm not halfway there. I'm just working on the back end, just trying to, So you go to GMXseeds.com. For the next few hours, I'm going to there'll be a few products up there right now, and then I'm working on this other project called Pure Cuts, which is PURCUTZ, which is pretty much started off back in the day, back when I first started, when I got my license back in Massachusetts. Caregiver, started in 2012, and so I just got my little license, and then I started like selling clones. So I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna call myself Pure Cut. And it's like Pure Cut with a, with a regular X, and then I just dropped it to make B, and then I just been running with that for years. And that's when I was selling clones and whatever, anything cannabis related.
Okay. You're still gonna continue doing that, right?
Yeah. So it kind of just evolved into this other like counterculture to the mainstream thing, where being more about like talk about American history and Black history, and talking about just like certain styles, different shit that I like. Just more a personal approach to what I like to do, just besides cannabis, And I bring that all together. I have this little shirt I'm dropping, and then I have the little Discord server, which I can offer like assistance for new growers and things of that nature. And just like these little projects.
This boy working. Yeah.
I cannot understand Discord for nothing.
Me neither.
It's like I don't even know what to do on there, man. Like we have it, and it's like I don't know what to do on that thing, man. Just hit me. Like, I don't know, man. Instagram is the best place for you to get in contact with the show, get in contact with me, Beastcoast. Like Discord is more. I think Discord is made for like people that used to be in them chat rooms a long time ago. And that's like great for them, but I wasn't in those chat rooms, so I don't know.
Me neither.
Yeah.
You mean like the forums?
The forums, yeah.
I wasn't in none of them shits. When I first came to it, it was YouTube for me. That's where I met Subcool. That's where I got to meet Fada Mike. That's where I got to meet a lot of the old Med Grower one. Empire.
Speaking of forums.
For real, Frosty, this what we doing? You know I wasn't able to get those, right?
I don't know, man. I got it like it's probably like one left. Everything else was sold out. And that was the only one I really wanted. I went on there and bought that.
That was the one that was the only one I wanted.
Discord is like the new forum, so they're a great resource for a lot of different people in our industry and other industries as well. So it's definitely a situation where you need to like have a couple moderators to like be the ones who are like supplying content, so to speak.
Yeah,
and then you just worry about your people coming in posting their shit.
So in the words of Copycat, in the words of Copycat Genetics, that's the Bean Basement.
Say again.
I said, in the words of Copycat Genetics, that's the Bean Basement. That's where all the people from the forums went to.
Yeah, exactly.
Copycat calls that the Bean Basement. That's where all the forum guys are. Everybody who was on the forums, he calls that the Bean Basement. So Discord is the new Bean
I know
Basement.
Exactly talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like Kevin Samuel, his audience. So say for example, you have some kind of subscription service, like that will be one of your things that you give to your people who are paying to get access to your Discord server. And then you can have a way to interact with Kevin Samuel and his people, you know what I mean? More directly than you can through paying to comment on a YouTube video.
Gotcha.
So it's the way to have a community.
Okay.
It's better than the forums, and it's more, and it's you have more rights than you would on Instagram or these other big tech kind of platforms.
Yeah, and you can share photos and media and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I gotta say is Instagram is the most non-sensitive out of most of the sites that you can use, because you could get away with talking and posting about stuff on Instagram that on Facebook could get your account taken altogether.
Yeah, there's just certain topics that you just can't talk about on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and
on all of them, but some are just more sensitive about it than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Instagram is starting to get kind of sensitive though.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the reasons why I'm trying to get the website up, just to move away from the social. Like use social media more as a tool to promote what you're doing. Because look at Med, look at Pedro, look at all these people who just getting canceled. You know, like just like that, like lost their page after like 3 years and 10 years or whatever, and there's like 20,000, 40,000.
Yeah, they lost their YouTube pages, right?
Yeah, that's what GML hit me up about.
You can't make a business off of social media, just have some kind of backup. And I see Frosty always doing his thing, and Loki is doing his thing. Just having.
I'm coming right behind them. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're right though. You're right though. You do got to set up something different. I'll probably get a frostymcnasty.com or some shit and just have
I gotta get a Beastcoast place, because I got some other products that I want to be offering the people that can help health wise, and me and GMX is definitely going to team up with that one. You said Loki?
Wasn't there another? Yeah, that email, that website.
You said Loki Grows?
No, didn't you have another website?
Yeah, we're gonna make a new one though.
Right.
I'm gonna need your help with that. Don't worry. I'll talk to you after the show.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, now everything's so automated. It's like so easy. Like for a lot of my clients, like back in the day, we would have to have a team. Like I'll be like front end designer, and then I'd hire some programmer, and then there would be like whatever tech person. But now with these platforms, as you know, like Wix and Square One, and
Wix makes life easy.
Do you Square think, and all these different things? You know what I mean? It's so easy that you could.
Do you think you can make
the right direction in a website up real quick?
Do you think you can make a dope looking Wix website, like really dope?
Not Wix, but I mean,
I like Wix so much because it's so.
Me too. It's so simple.
I have to switch, man. Because
it's definitely simple, but you can have like a basic website, as you see. You can just do it, right? But if you really want something more high end, if you do WordPress and you buy a template. Like you pay like $60 to like $90 for a template that you have to like customize. So it's work, but it's gonna be more customizable than you would with these template like websites, like Wix and Square and those other ones, PayPal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the way to go long term, is to go like your own. So you use this thing called WooCommerce. I can talk to both of you guys and email you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about
that. Most certainly. And we're gonna have to get some tech episodes done.
Right now, I'm gonna go finish my GMXseeds right now. I'm actually using that same platform we're just talking about, and then yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for the future.
So when's the drop?
It's supposed to be right now, like 9. So I just don't want to fucking. I'm just getting the kinks out right now. You know, like I'm just ironing out the last kinks.
And this is GMXseeds.com.
Done. The GMXseeds.com is launching tonight. I'll probably just post it to Instagram as soon as it's ready to go live. Only dropping like 50 packs. It's going to be very similar, small little drop. And then I'm working on this new strain, which is my most like powerful. I worked on this for 3 years and just like knocks you on your ass, like the most potent strain that I've done to date. So I'm really excited for that one. Working on that, and that one should be ready mid-fall.
Dope. We got Rico Royal in the chat room, and he does the website thing also. He said the best builder is being built now, beta testing it now. I want you guys to link up maybe, and y'all could probably
definite.
I could probably work out some stuff, and you could probably tell them what you're looking for. So I remember I had told him I liked it how Wix allows us to sell digital audio,
digital products,
digital products on it. And he said that's dope. We're gonna get that in there too. So maybe y'all should talk, man.
Yep. Because I sold all of my music directly through my website because they also only take the regular 8% tax. So where everybody else got to split stuff with the rest of these companies, I was able to get like 92 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Which is rare compared to iTunes or Apple or anything else.
Yeah. And that's dope. Just say your own shit off your own website.
Yep.
So is it cool if I give Rico
your music on iTunes or any of that?
Huh?
You just all do it. Do you ever put music out?
Soon. I'm working on that. I'm working on that now too.
Nice.
Now that the demand is
getting bigger. Way back when 2004, I used this company called probably old school now, but CD Baby.
Yeah.
And you could pretty much, you do that, and then you just pretty much not like you sign your life away, but you pretty much sign your right to have them mass distribute your audio, so that way it's on every platform.
Now they got TuneCore and a couple of other ones, but DistroKid, yep. Yeah. They got a few different ones that you can use now.
They got a lot of different stuff. Actually, they got some.
Yeah,
they got a lot of stuff, man. Making it simple for the creators.
Yep, and some of the music will be available right on the Green Table's YouTube page, so you guys be able to come here and get some of the music as well.
My wife is like, you gotta re-release the shit that I did way back when I was young and stoner shit. I'm actually gonna send you guys a link if you guys laugh at me. But yeah, man, I still make beats and shit, but some of the stuff I did back then was more of the vocals and I was just out there with it. So I'll send you some stuff that I have on SoundCloud.
Yeah, man, that's dope.
Always want to hear that. So besides,
I'm trying to say something. I've been trying to say it for a little while. Hold on. Can I send Rico your email so y'all could talk?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Rico. I'm gonna send that to. I'm gonna get that to you.
Yeah, and I'm GMXseeds at Gmail. I mean, I'm probably just gonna be pushing that out anyway, so everybody can get at me.
Oh, there you go.
Transparent with everything I'm doing. I like what Wilkie did. I like how he's rolling with it. Like he had his little number on there, so it makes sense. Just thinking about doing all that. So just anybody who buys anything from me, I'm always like following them back just off the rip, just to show respect. Because you buy something from me that I like work on, and then I want to see what you do. So
all right,
I'm all about it.
You got a question? What light substrate nutrients are you going to use for your grow, or are you using?
It's funny. I actually was working on a video where I'm talking about switching up the operating procedure. And a lot of you probably know I've been using Canna for close to a decade, and so I moved away from that. And actually, I'm starting to use Athena, just go straight powder nutrients, first time. So I'm going with Athena. That's what I went with, and I heard great things. I saw a discount code from Green Jeans posted, and I took advantage of that, and I got 50% off. I saved like $2 bills, so I was I'm excited. Yeah, and I heard great things, and they're not as high end in terms of the cost as Canna, which is one of the reasons why I like it. The biggest thing I have with Canna is just like the stacking of these bottles and not just little bottles. We're talking like 5 gallons. You know what I mean? And they just pile up.
Yeah, that's a lot of waste.
It's a lot of waste.
I haven't used Canna in years, and I still got some of their bottles laying around. and they're empty, and I still haven't found, like, you know how many trash bags you would have to go through of just those bottles. Like, definitely not needed.
GMX.
So Frosty, to answer your question, I'm going to go with the Tina.
I got something to say about this after y'all done.
Say again?
No, there's a question for y'all.
Oh, go ahead with the first question, though. The lights, the nutrients, and substrate.
Yeah, so the nutrients, I'm sticking with the same lights, which I'm using the HLG 300. And then I have some HLG 65s for veg, and I have a couple T5s for cloning. But pretty much, And I do have a few HPS vertical lamps I have hanging in the flower room as well.
What footprint are you using for the 300s?
For the breeding?
No, for the HLG 300s. How much footprint are you covering with that?
Oh, I'm 3 by 3. But I think if I could do it again, I would do, instead of using those 4 HLG 300s, I would get 4 550.
Gotcha.
And turn them down.
Just to get a spread.
Just to get a little bit better spread. But I'm actually going to start my breeding seasons again. I have like a new plan just to do like 6 months. So I'm bringing in the tent. I have the 2 3 by 3 tents that I'm going to be putting in there, and then I'll just flower like a little section on the outside at the same time. But yeah, I think 3 by 3 will be okay for breeding. But in terms of for maximizing, I would definitely bump it up a little bit. Some people were talking about the 350s. That would be better for a 3 by 3.
Okay. I actually have a question about as far as cocoa goes. I seen your last video and you transplanted during flower. I've never did that or seen it done. What is
that's okay? One of the reasons why that happens for us, I say Ocean Grown, is part of the process of when we were testing out seedlings. So that way you, instead of like, you run it old school. There's no testing, or you have no idea if they're male and female. So you just have to wait till they show sex. So instead of just having them all already in big pots, you leave them in 1 gallon pot, right? And then as soon as you figure out the males, you cull the males, of course, and then you transplant the females into larger containers.
Got you.
So that's just something that we did. It's a little stress test for some of the, tells if you can, various reasons why people would do it while we did it. But the main reason why was just when you're running so many seeds, it's a lot of cocoa,
Yeah.
It's just easier just to do it that way.
Saving space.
But obviously I would avoid doing that because you could quickly just, with the cotyledon little like baby leaves, to take a clip of that, or even other companies take a leaf and just send it in, and you don't know. So you don't have to. So it's an old school tech, I would say, where you just trying to figure out if you're a male or female instead of worrying about transplanting. You just get it, and so that way you don't have to waste cocoa and waste space and everything else that comes with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Please go ahead and ask that question.
How do breeders determine or set price point for seeds or clones? Yes, so we'll wait for them to come right back. Matter of fact, you guys give us 10 seconds, just 10 seconds. Yes. So the question is, how do breeders determine or set price point for seeds or clones?
How do breeders determine what? I'm sorry, my phone.
How do breeders basically determine how much for seeds and for clones?
Oh, that's personal choice. Clone market is one thing, but in terms of seeds, yeah, it's a tough one to say why people charge what they charge. It really varies.
So what do you think, Frosty?
50 a pack to like 500 a pack,
I've seen it everywhere in between.
And everything in between.
Yeah.
I'm personally keeping the same price. But I work with people, you know what I mean? And like, and I always did too with ocean grown. Like if you ever have any issue, like especially with regular seeds, like we'll work with you because if you buy 2 packs and you pop them all and they all pop, they all germ, when you have 15 males, like I would say you didn't get your return on investment. Yes. And we would make it right, and I would make it right. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's companies out here who will charge you $500 and they wouldn't even give a fuck. So it really all depends on the kind of breeder that you're dealing with and why they charge what they charge. I'll tell you right now, I'm with everybody, and I'll be just as much so with dealing with selling seed, and I always was. Like you buy a pack for me, you're getting 13 seeds every day, at least. That's just what I always did, like a baker's dozen. If you get a half pack, you're going to get at least 7 seeds, make it worth it.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Take care of the people, man. What is your price point for your seed packs?
I'm doing 60 for half and 100 for full.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah, because I'm using, like I said, I'm doing with a website. With the website, you can have a little discount code. So okay. I definitely want to get back too to go out the gate. So I'm doing a little sale too. So you get like a little, you check out the Instagram post, you get a little 10% or 15% or whatever it may be. So there's always that opportunity as well.
Breeze, why you look like that? What's going on?
Man, yeah. I don't know if y'all know what y'all.
I'm looking at you because I'm just on the phone, so I can't see what you're looking at.
He's shaking his head like, what?
Right.
64.
I'll let you answer. I'll let you answer the question first. No, do you want me to answer first?
Yeah. What you saying?
I just don't get why y'all be so cheap.
Cheap?
Like I get it. But you guys worked your asses off to make these crosses. You guys worked your asses off. You guys sacrificed space that you could have been having flower runs to create genetics that people are going to be using for a lifetime, to create genetics that people are going to be using to create other genetics. I think you guys are worth more than $100 a pack. And if anybody can't afford more than $100 a pack, you might not even should be growing. But there will be sites that'll sell you 1 or 2 seeds for $10 a seed or whatever. Those should be the sites that you go to for that. But I think you guys that put the work in, put the time in, put the effort in, made a name for yourself, branded yourself properly, I think that you guys are worth way more than what y'all be charging people. So every time I hear y'all prices, if it's under $150, I'm angry.
Yeah, I do hear you. I mean, I think I heard about the drop up north in was it the cookies ran where they're dropping like 500 a pack, and they quickly just drop, 1,500 packs, and they sell out in like 2 minutes. And then you look at that pack, and you're like,
when Compound did the runch drop, it was $500 a pack. They sold out before you could click order.
The hype is built around though. That's the thing. Like sometimes we don't have that hype is big enough, and we need that the cheaper price to get
because there's a lot of us out
to get the quantity out there first. You know what I mean? To get the numbers out there for you, to get the feedback, to get the people that are growing it, sharing it, and creating your hype first. Once now the hype is up, now people see your quality, then you can go up on price if you feel the need to. But if you breeding right, you're going to have thousands of seeds. So it's like, do you gouge people like these big companies do? Or do you stay true and stay true to like your moral code and look at it as far as my work per, say I got 1,000 seeds out of one plant. That's 100 packs. 100 packs times 100, that's a lot, for one plant. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, you guys can't get mad at me because I want to see you guys make more money.
No, we're not mad.
I want to see y'all win, and I know what you guys are worth, especially to the community. Like, and I also know that 150 is not expensive for a pack of seeds.
It's not,
because you go to these other seed sites, like that's half a pack of seeds.
Yeah, you're right.
Exotic genetics, that's 6 seeds.
The 6120 price point seems fair too. I think that's a very common one these days.
What did he say?
He's gonna just shot the price up, y'all. Get on him. He just made the price higher for you.
See, and this is what, let me show you what bothers me about this comment right here. Not person, comment. Not paying over 150 for a pack of seeds.
Not paying over 150. He'll get to 150.
Man, if somebody paid $7,000 to get one clone, another $6,000-7,000 to get another clone, and decided to create a strain that is stupid fire, I don't care what it cost. Because again, if I had to get a clone of maybe, let's say somebody S1's a strain and wants to sell the packs for $300. Why, if you go and source that clone is going to be thousands of dollars. Or you could get somebody that provided you the S1 of it for maybe $300. And you might not get the exact pheno of the clone only, but you'll get something close enough. And I think it's still definitely worth the $200 or $300, because if you source that clone, you're going to be paying $3,500 or better, depending on what the strain is that got reversed. And imagine if I had to buy that strain and another strain, and then I got to cross them. I got to sacrifice 2 months. I got to put in the work to shuck them. I got to separate them, make sure that you guys are getting the highest quality seeds you can have. I'm branding it properly. I'm making sure the photography is up to par. That causes me to have to buy a better camera. I'm doing all of this work for you, and you can't pay me more than $150 for an investment that you're going to make money off of consistently for as long as you decide to keep it around. I think it's well worth the investment.
It works two ways, though. It works two ways. It works consumer understanding what breeders goes through, and it works breeder understanding what he wants out of his product. Like for me, I would rather get it in more hands than less hands at more higher ticket.
When you get to that platform, when you're that big, when you're pushing like 1 million subscribers, you can get away with selling things at that kind of price point at the end of the day, because there's such a big demand for it that you can get away with it and sell out 1,000 packs at $500, where it will be a lot more difficult if you have 50,000 people around you, So I really think it's like,
and I'm being reasonable. I'm not telling them to up it to 300. I'm just saying $50 more ain't gonna make or break the deal.
Yeah, you're right about that, though.
I think 100 or 150. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna make or break anything, and I definitely think that you guys are worth it for the work that you're putting in, for the quality that people are getting, for the results.
This is where I'm at with it. Let me post this up. This is where I'm at with it when the film hit. That's what the film is going to hit for.
Definite.
Because now you getting all seeds that's going to be what you want. So it's like that's what it's going to hit for. But for as F1s, I don't know. I'll probably stick with 180.
Man, 125. Yeah, I got to meet me halfway or something.
Blame Beastcoast for the spike hike, man. For the price hike.
I'm telling you, they're not going to find it.
We did we upped the price from 100 to 120 a couple of years back. And there was a little bit of a blowback, if I remember correctly. Not major, but just enough that it just wasn't really worth it at the time.
I remember when it happened because I bought a pack of seeds.
Yeah.
And I noticed it was $20 more, and I still bought it.
It's probably to do with the at the time, it was just how the industry, with the banking and stuff, it was everything was more expensive to deal with. Things have opened up now a little bit, I think. Obviously with legalization in so many different new states. But yeah, it's definitely something to say, Beast. I mean, 150 would be real nice. but I understand why. I personally think I got to stick in the 6120 tops, but as of right now, I'm doing 6100 just out the gate, just to get my, to get out there and just to get in, like Frosty was saying, just get into people's hands.
Yeah. Yep.
And I get why you guys are doing it. And I actually, and the people probably super appreciate the fact that you guys make it so affordable for them. I just don't think at $50 more it's going to be any less affordable for them. Yeah. I don't know. I'm always going to push for more for you guys. And I know that you guys aren't going to say anything about it because it's your
price
business.
will go up with inflation. We'll put it like that. Price will go up with inflation. You know what I mean?
Kind of seeing inflation right now, though.
Yeah, so that's why you about to add a 20 on it.
Yeah,
You building a website and shit too. You gotta. That's a lot, man. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get that shit in the hands. It ain't just packaging and shipping. It's website. It's a back end on the website, like typing all these fucking words in and explanations.
Your credentials.
Yeah, man. It is work. I understand what you're saying. It is work, but that's what we do it for. You know what I mean? We're gonna do this shit anyway. So it's like, give them a fair price, let everybody get it, and just be happy like that, man. You know what I'm saying? These people charging $500 for a pack. That's insane. That's just like that's using people. That's just using people on your name. Like, they gonna fuck with me anyway. I got a big following. Yeah, I ain't tripping. That's like being hella big headed. That's gluttony at its finest. That's gluttony. You know what I mean? 10 seeds for 500 or regular seeds. Man, come on. What the fuck?
Yeah, because that's what Compound did, and I'm not gonna lie. I was getting ready to take it.
Yeah, because that high price. Somebody told me a long time ago, if you start a clothing line, make your shit hella expensive.
Right off rip.
People gonna fuck with it just as expensive, and that's all they doing. You know what I mean? That shit ain't nothing special. The market price. Say it again. Setting the price.
They said they're just setting their own market price just because they can do it.
Yeah.
If you have it like that, you can do that, and it all really comes down to what you're bringing to the table and how much influence that you have. I think Frosty is a better chance of upping up the prices with the numbers that you have in terms of if people look at your metrics of where you're at. So you going to 150, you probably wouldn't even, you'd probably be a lot easier to do than somebody who has less followers and less subscribers or less interaction.
Yeah.
So if you have so much interaction, like Burner or these big dudes or Calculator, like they can get away with selling those packs all day.
Yeah, I'm still not going to do it. If it's a fem line, that's different. But regular seeds, no, y'all got to hunt through them because then I'm giving y'all. Then I'm charging more for a option that might be five female seeds, 5 usable seeds. If I charge you $150 for a regular pack and you get 5 usable seeds, that's kind of fucked up. I don't like that.
I just want you guys to see how much these breeders actually care about you guys. Like they're really doing this with you guys in mind. They're doing this with your experience in mind. They're doing this with your outcome in mind. You're not going to get this from a lot of breeders. They're not going to care.
I'm a consumer first.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I'll buy seeds. You said see me post a pic. Like I stay buying seeds
all the time.
But I'm not gonna buy it if it's not worth it. I did buy the stupid shit the other day. Like a couple months ago. It's been overpriced some shit, but it was like, I don't know. Sometimes you just get like, I need that. Let me grab that and just spend it. But for the most part, I would love the company that I bought it from way more if it was 150 instead of 400. I would be like, man, I'll get all of those seeds.
Yeah. I think once you start reaching those 3s and 4s, you
then you got to pick
it. You pushing it on a pack of seeds.
You got people picking one strain instead of being able to get the whole line for a little cheaper, and they're gonna run it and say you the best fucking man and blah blah blah. And it's just better, man. It's just better.
Now again, if it's an S1 of a clone,
hold on.
Uh-oh.
So here's a guy right here. You can't see the screen. You can't see the screen, GMX. But here's a guy that bought a pack of seeds from me, right? He bought a few pack of seeds from me. He popped 4 seeds of each thing. Then he had to move, and those seeds had to get going somewhere. So he lost 4 off the rip. Then the remaining 6 he popped, he got 1 female out of those. Didn't let me know. Didn't tell me that happened or whatever, because if you know me, I'm shooting you another pack. It's no problem. So then he takes to YouTube and says he got 1 out of 10 females. It is part of the game. It's okay. I'm not tripping. It's part of the game.
Hold up. Huh? How does he know that the 4 that he got rid of in the beginning were not all females along with the other one, and that would have made it, what, 5 for 5?
He's just implying that he only got 1 female. He's not implying that he got, like, he didn't run them. How would he know? So he's just saying
that. When you're saying you got 1 out of 10 females.
No, you don't know that because you got rid of 4 of them.
That's not right, man.
Yeah, no. Exactly. I you know what's weird? I had this problem with Empire Breeding Co. When I popped my first, I think it was 6 seeds, I got all males. And I was like, how the hell did that happen? So I popped the last 4 and I got all females. So it was just literally crazy that the 6 that I popped were all males. And then the very last 4
so let me do this.
All females.
Let me do this, GMX. We gotta so don't you think it's like a consumer responsibility also to show love back to the breeder? Like if they have an issue with the breeder,
100%.
That they should come to the breeder they got it from and say, like, I only got one female out of these 10 seeds. And it's the breeder's responsible to make it right, because we all know that's just luck of the draw if you just putting 10 random seeds in a package, right? We don't fucking know.
I mean,
it's not like you know. Yeah, shit happens.
So you shouldn't take to the internet first and then just say, yeah, I got this from Whoop Womp and it's 1 out of 10 females. And then that you know what that does? Do you know what that does to other people?
You just wouldn't do that. You would just go back to the person you bought it from and talk to them. So
that's all you got to do.
And if they're an asshole about it, then yeah. If I mention it and then you don't respond the right way, if you try to get disrespectful with me about it, then yeah, I'm going to the internet because of your customer service. That's what I'm coming back for. But I'm going to contact you first. If you say, hey, no problem, I'll send you out another package, then I'm cool.
He says false narrative being pointed out, but I talked to him and asked him that, and he said the same thing I just told y'all. We'll talk about it later.
We should definitely talk to you.
Yeah, I would have just reached out to you first. And then if you didn't want to replace it, or if you start, hey, my seeds would never do this, and my seeds never have problems, and then yeah, maybe I'll come to the internet afterwards. Like, hey, guys, horrible customer service. This is the experience I got. This is how they went about it. I'll go to the internet about it then. But first, I'd reach out to the breeder.
Here's another question, GMX. I want you to answer this one. It's from it's 1080p. Is it the responsibility of the breeder that you get females? That's a good question, right?
No.
Definitely an interesting question.
It's an interesting question because you're buying regular seeds. So that means
they're responsible for them germinating.
There's no way I'm knowing that they're male or female seeds when I'm putting them in the bag.
Exactly. But if you are buying regular seed, inherently you are telling the person that they could be either male or female. So if you are buying seeds and all the seeds that you pop are all male, then you get a second pack from your person you bought it from.
Exactly.
And they're all male
or not.
Then you can be like, all right, there's something wrong with this. Can I have my money back, or can I have a different strain?
Yes.
I think that's just like the proper way you would go about having any issues. As somebody who used to buy seed for years before I even sold a pack, you know. I mean, I used to buy seeds from overseas and stuff way back in like late 2000s, you know. So you should know how to buy a pack of seeds. And as a breeder now, I totally see that side. And that's probably why I sell cheap seeds, as Beastcoast would say, because I care about the end user. So at the end of the day, when you buy a pack of seeds and you are regular seeds, and if you don't get any males, just go through the channels and just talk. I mean, don't get any females. Go through the channels and talk to the breeder. But yeah, you should definitely get some females. It should be a 50-50 situation. That's nature.
And that's what makes it so good now that we're so accessible. We're so accessible. Like it's nothing. Hey, I got only got one female out of this. What strain was that? Boom. You're in the mail the next day. It's no big deal. It's really not a big deal.
If they went to the store right now and bought some seeds of peppers, it says on the back that they have a guarantee that the seeds germinate. They are not responsible of how many peppers you get out of that plant. They're not responsible if the plant lives or dies past the point of germination. They are responsible for the seeds germinating. Now, if you germinate a bunch of seeds and they don't germinate, that is one reason. But if you pop a bunch of seeds and they're all males, then you bought a pack of seeds that's all males. Like, it's not even up to the breeder to replace that. Maybe it'll be good on his part if he does, but it's not like he knew. It's not like he knew and was like, let me put 10 males in here. He didn't know that. That seed pack could have went to anybody. You just happen to be the buyer that bought that specific pack. They prepackaged the packs. They don't know which one you're getting, so they're responsible for the seeds germinating. If they do anything to help you past that, that is on that shout out to customer service for being able to do that. But they are responsible for the seeds to germinate. Anything past that, you are on your own. My opinion, because if you went and bought seeds of vegetables or anything, they are not responsible for how many cucumbers you get. They are not responsible for whether they even make it to the stage of flowering. It says on the back, they have a germination guaranteed. Anything past germination is on you. They could die directly after germination. That's not on them. That's on that's on you. Yeah.
But the original question was it it's females, right? If you are guaranteed females. And like I said, it's a regular seed. It should be either male or female. And you roll your dice. And some breeders are cool, like we're trying to be, and some breeders aren't. So at the end of the day, that goes back down to how you select who you want to buy your seed from, what kind of person they are, and like how they respond to customer service.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I think you guys.
So there's a lot of misconceptions with consumers or people that buy seeds. They got a lot of shit twisted. We do not control the outcome of male to female ratio. You cannot do that. You can't do that. Only outcome we could show is that if you get too many males and less females and you're upset, then we should do something to make it right, to make sure that you're okay. And that's what I think. That's just good customer service, period. But we're not required to.
No.
We're not required. But that's good customer service. That makes
for you to know it was one female out of there, the seeds germinated. Anything past that point is on you. It has nothing.
That has nothing to do with testing either.
No, because I could have popped a pack that was 10 males in it, and it would be what? I'm the breeder. I created it. I popped the pack. I got 10 males out of it. Okay, I'm gonna pop another 10. It's not like the breeder knows ahead of time. It's not like they sold you 10 clones, and the 10 clones, you flowered them out and they were all males, and they told you that all 10 clones was females. It's not like they sold you a pack of S1s and said that these are feminized, these are guaranteed to be females, then come to find out they're all males. No, they sent you regular seeds, and regular seeds don't have a 50-50 ratio of whether you're going to get males or females. It's up in the air. It's like if you and your woman had 10 children, you have no idea what's going to come out. You have no, you could get all boys, you could get all girls, you could get a mixture of you have no idea. That is not on the breeder to. Now, if a breeder is nice enough to correct it afterwards, shout out to the breeder, great customer service. If the breeder doesn't want to handle it afterwards, shout out to the breeder, great customer service, because he doesn't have to. It's nice of him to do it, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, when we bought seeds back in the day from overseas or just from a company that's not as accessible as we are, Beastcoast is right. Like, it is what it is. It's your gamble. If you buy a bag of seeds and you don't get any males, if you get all males or they don't pop, then that sucks. But I mean, back in the day, we never had the you could never email somebody or DM somebody to get another pack.
Couldn't do nothing. So, you bought the pack. It germinated. Yeah. It ain't the ratio you wanted. Okay.
What do you want us to do about it?
But there's so many craft breeders now that are so accessible that now it's almost like, unless you're
we have to do something now. You have to do something now, or your character is on trial.
Yeah, people do cancel things and do other stuff, and people put you out and blast on.
But because you guys are so accessible, it's so easy to just inbox you like, "Yo, I got one female out of a 10-pack."
It's like my wife. It's like saying my wife better have a daughter.
Pretty much, yeah. Like she better have a daughter. If she don't give me a daughter, then she owe me. Like she doesn't have no control over this. We don't know. But again, you guys are so accessible that I think before people go and maybe their intentions isn't to exactly slander somebody, but that's what it shows up as to the company itself if you didn't reach out to them first. I can understand if they're doing bad customer service and they wouldn't reach back out to you afterwards, but you should at least check with them before making the video. I learned this the hard way. I learned this the hard way because I
everywhere.
I kind of did this to Copycat Genetics, and he told me the exact same thing. He was like, yo, instead of just going on your page and saying that you got a bunch of harms, you could have just reached out to me first and told me you had a bunch of harms, and it's no big deal. I'd have shot you out a few more packs. And I wasn't thinking about it. Then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I could have definitely did that before I said anything. And I might not have even had to say anything because I know he would have corrected it if I reached out to him. So, yeah.
This is great. Bear Smoke said that's why only breeders get regs. And that's great because if you're not a breeder, reg's not for you. You're gonna find something to be upset about.
Yeah.
You should just get
I'll say this before I get going. Thanks you guys for having me on too. But I'll say this about this whole conversation. It rarely happens too. Like I've been popping seeds for so long. I probably only popped full pack of males like one or twice out of like 100 packs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it most of the time you get quote unquote males is usually because a new grower is doing some kind of stress test to some new hybrid that's not fully like vetted and really like in its early stages of, F1 or F2 and not been thoroughly, supposedly just people different techniques to stabilize their genetics. But, it happens. So when we used to release F1s and they went through the testing process, but the male to female ratio was fine and hermaphrodites were very, very low, if at all. But only with like there's a lot of cookie strains, the cookie hybrids, if you light leaks or if you, stress them out by low stress, high stress training, they will herm. And sometimes people confuse herms for males, and that's what we normally would run into. So majority of the time, like you're not going to get like a pack of seed that's going to be all male. That's just so rare. You know what I mean?
Very rare. Very rare. You'll get at least 3 females. Like bare minimum I've seen is 3. I've never even gotten 8 out of 10. Like the most I've gotten is 4 out of a whole pack. And most people don't even pop a whole pack. Most people pop half a pack first and then hunt through that. And if they can't find anything, maybe they'll pop the other 5. But yeah, it's not up to the breeders. I just hate that the breeders have to deal with so much extra nonsense. They don't have any control over whether they're male or female. And if it's a breeder that's willing to correct the issue that you're having, just reach out to the breeder. Make life easier.
Yep. Well, GMX,
especially when they're accessible.
I heard you said you got to go, so I don't want to hold you too long.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I just want to give a quick shout out to my testing team on Instagram. They're all holding me down for 5 years, so I just want to give them a shout out.
That's great. Shout them out, man. At who?
Yeah, Dr. Buswell, Mayhem, so many. There's like Alaska Med Grower, Weed Smoke for You. There's a bunch of them. And I'm always looking for new testers too. So if you're on Instagram and you grow publicly or private account, just hit me up, tag me. Always looking for new testers. All about the seed. So all about sharing. So yeah, hit me up. You can hit up GMXseeds tonight, GMXseeds.com. I'm going to have this drop. Thank you guys for having me on.
Oh man, you'll be back, man. It's all good. You're part of the fam, man.
Appreciate it. I'll be back and I'll have this lab up and running. So I'm looking forward. I got my license today. I got my desk. So things are going to be popping off soon enough.
All right,
let's go.
All right, peace, man.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace, guys.